You know, it never fails. When people ask me about my job, their reaction is almost always prefaced by a look of total bewilderment. It's as if I told them I hunt vermicious canids in Loompa Land. And once I explain things a bit further, that expression gradually evolves from utter confusion to sheer envy. You play video games at work, you bastard, I'm jealous. Really, it's like clockwork, but the thing that surprises people the most every time I go through this recurring conversation is my response. You see, I'm the one who's jealous. Now, don't get me wrong, I love what I do, but you know that feeling you get when you hear about a new game, a new release in a franchise you just absolutely adore? You know how you scour the internet for every shred of information you can find, you count the days until it releases, and when it's finally in your hands, your brain can't seem to process anything other than the cellophane you're about to rip through like a hyena? Yeah, I lost that feeling a long time ago. But there's a reason I'm bringing this up. It's to illustrate how truly special games like this are. When you're playing through 8, 9, 10, so many games a week, you see they're separated by more than just graphics and controls and features. There's something intangible that separates 98% of the carbon-copied nonsense on store shelves from games like this. Even for a hardened critic, for whom personal excitement over the medium is all too rare and mostly recurs in flashbacks, Klonoa 2 reminds me why I love video games. Now, obviously, this is supposed to be a review of Klonoa 2 LUNATEA'S Veil, a game that released in 2001 for the PlayStation 2. But if you're expecting another 270 seconds of analysis on textures and frame rates and control responsiveness, you'll have to forgive me. Just this once, I want to break from that status quo. I want to look at a game the way I used to. And after all, if any game deserves a love letter, it's this one. So, dear Klonoa 2, I want to thank you. You took one of the most fun and inventive platform games in years, refined its mechanics, and gave it a fresh coat of next-generation paint, but you did so much more than that. You had the guts to be a 2.5D platformer well before New Super Mario Bros. Made it cool again. And although you don't get any credit for it, you carried the torch for true platform games at a time when most people associated the genre with boring 3D collection quests. And you know, your level design has always just blown my mind. It's like a corkscrew of interesting platforms, twisting between each other to form a side-scrolling experience that feels anything but flat. You're linear, but you're not. And you sent us shooting into the background a decade before Donkey Kong Country returned to make it popular. And again, you rarely get the credit. You see, people forget about you, Klonoa 2. They forget about your fantastic platforming, your gorgeous style, your influential design, your clever puzzles. It's a real shame. But for me, for someone who's forgotten a few things himself, you're a reminder, Klonoa 2. You remind me why I love video games.
You